Este programa tem o patrocínio.
Festas em honra do Divino Espírito Santo em Newark, no Clube Açores. Dia de Portugal em Newark, 46ª edição.
Jornal Luso-Americano. Luís Firmino Insurance. MCM Clínicas Dentárias. Bem-vindos a mais um Meet the Leaders. O meu nome é Ricky Drive, WNN, Luso-Americano TV. O Dia de Portugal está à porta e em Newark celebra-se com muita emoção. E com grato prazer que eu tenho comigo Bruna Demetrio. Ela é estudante do ano, estudante do Liceu Eastside. Bruna, bem-vinda. Bruna, who is Bruna Demetrio?
So I was actually born in Portugal. I was born in Porto and I was raised in Mirandela. And then when I was around 5 years old, we immigrated to the US. I started school and I was actually a year behind because I didn't know that much English. So I was in ESL for a couple of years, but because I was at such a young age, I quickly tested out of ESL. And yeah, that's
Bruna.
yeah.
And going forward, what are you planning to do?
I'm actually going to be attending Montclair State in the fall. I'm going to major in their pre-law program, which is in jurisprudence, and I would graduate with a master's degree.
That's amazing. A student of the year for Portugal Day, what the meanings of that for you?
I've been asked this a couple of times, and so that gave me some time to think about this question. And what it means for me is that I'm able to be a representation for students who are like me, who maybe they just came into the country and they don't know that much English, so they don't have the same opportunities as everyone else. And I know that it's a struggle. I know what it feels like to not be able to get those opportunities and to have to work more just to get the same opportunities as everyone else. So to me, that's like a recognition of the work that I've been putting in, and it's also, I'm just like a face to all those students realistically. There's so many intelligent students who I feel also deserve to win Student of the Year, but I know that because of the challenges that they have, it's not maybe not possible. It really is just an honor to get that recognition.
Now, you're born in Portugal, you came to the States with 5 years old, you grow up in a different environment.
Mm-hmm.
Newark is unique for what it represents,
Mm-hmm.
We are a melting pot, we
Yep.
have so many diverse people. Being a student in the school with over 2,000 students, where every day you are able to meet different people, different backgrounds, what that represents in the way you are, in the way you're thinking, in the way you grow up, observing that.
Mm-hmm. So I think that being in this school, being in Newark, is really what made me what I am today. I went to Oliver Street, which was also pretty diverse for like an elementary and middle school. And I truly don't think that if I was with people who were like me and I saw the struggles, not just in myself, but in other people, I wouldn't get to where I am today. And maybe I wouldn't even want to be a lawyer in the future. So I think it's such a beautiful thing to see such different people around every single day. I feel like, especially at Eastside, you never see the same faces every day. So it's great to meet new people every single day.
Now, I was able to be in few events with you already, and I'm going to ask you that in Portuguese. Eu senti as emoções tuas em vários pontos. O que é que representa para ti ser português?
For me, it represents my family, I feel. They are my biggest supporters, and they're the reason why I was able to get Student of the Year. They're the reason why I'm even still connected to my culture and still connected to Portugal, because I did lose a lot of my Portuguese as I continue to study here in America, and my mom has always made sure to keep traditions going on at home, to keep speaking Portuguese at home. So every time I think of Portuguese in Portugal, the first thing that comes to my mind is my family.
That's amazing. Now we're going to be attending Montclair State. What are your expectations? If I ask you that question 4 years from now, and you look back, what do you want to accomplish?
There's a lot that I want to accomplish. The main reason why I chose Montclair State is because I also feel like it's a diverse school and everyone is so welcoming. And I have been in their program here at Eastside, so there's so many people that I already know. I definitely want to be involved a lot, but I'm expecting to just graduate, get great, amazing grades. I will be graduating with a bachelor's and a master's degree, which I definitely think will help me a lot into going into law school. And my biggest thing that I want to do at Eastside is definitely be involved. I know that they have a lot of programs at Eastside, at Montclair, and I know that they have like clubs and all of that. I'm already in a couple of honor societies for Montclair, so that's like my biggest thing is to be involved on campus.
And you've been actively involved in a lot of clubs, the academics, for example, at Eastside. How important is Eastside for you?
Like I've said before, I don't think that I would be the person that I am today if I wasn't at Eastside. I was actually supposed to go to technology, and then I eventually transferred. My second day of high school, I went to Eastside, and having the support systems that I have at Eastside, especially considering my circumstances with being able to get certain scholarships, I feel like support at Eastside is also something that's helped me a lot. You get support not just from your teachers. The principal is always so loving. I literally text my guidance counselor every single day asking for help. I just think that people, the staff and the teachers, they really care about their students at Eastside, which I think is really rare. Like, they don't just care about you as like a student, they care about you like as a child, as a person, and I think that's what really makes the difference, and it's what helps a lot of the students get to a higher point in their life that maybe they wouldn't be able to if it wasn't for that support.
That's exactly where I want to go, more that I think about the supporting team at Eastside, being a teacher, being, faculty, whatever you're thinking. I do see different backgrounds. I do see like a mimic between the students and the people that work there. Is that important to not only keep that vibe, but more important, understanding that the person that probably is helping you somehow in the past went through the same steps that you are navigating now? Is that important for the students, that give you the confidence that a student needs?
Yeah, when I was going through my college applications, I spoke to a lot of teachers because I was really stuck between Montclair and Kane, and I didn't realize how many teachers went to such close colleges, how many teachers and staff went to the schools that I was picking between, and that also really helped me decide because I was able to hear from them, and it really does give you a different point of view. Like, you don't just see them as teachers and you don't just see them as staff. I feel like my junior and senior year, I got really close to a lot of the staff, and I've really created a bond with more like teachers and more staffs than I thought I would at Eastside, and it helps you see a different perspective, and having that bond with them and realizing that they went through the same thing that I'm going through now, it's kind of inspiring, and it's like it really helps you keep moving forward with your difficulties.
Now, one of those questions that I love it. 3 o'clock, June 8th, Ferry Street. When you put your sash and start walking the Portugal Avenue, what will come across your mind?
So I really think I'm just gonna get the same hit of emotion that I got at our gala. It is such an honor to get this title, and I know that a lot of people are going to be there for me, supporting me, especially on that day. So I think it's just going to be a hit of emotions, and I'm really just more proud of myself than anything else. I'm really glad that my accomplishments are being recognized, and like I said earlier, I'm mostly just really glad that I get to be a face to the students who are either facing the challenges I've faced before or they have faced them already.
Now, like you, with so many kids that are dreaming to get there. I think that is. I was talking to someone last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, over the phone, 17 years old. And she was telling me, it's sometimes the desire take me there, but seems that most of the times something that hold me back.
Yeah.
What is the message that you have for those that they probably have everything to get there, but they not even realize that it is important to dream, it is important to go through,
Yeah.
not be afraid to make mistakes?
I really think it's all about resilience. High school was definitely extremely difficult, and especially having to balance a lot of stuff out with like school and my college classes and being in clubs. There's definitely like difficulties that come, but most of the time having that resilience and that dream that where you want to get is what keeps you thriving. The biggest thing that I would suggest is reach out, because there's so many people who want to help you, and there's so many people who, even though you may think you have everything that you need to get to that point, there's always that one person who might be able to take you over that line. The biggest example of that I have is when I started the Portuguese National Honor Society, Os Linguistas, at Eastside. I spoke to so many people. I went to Miss Rodriguez and then Miss Nunes, and they eventually took me to Miss Antunes. So if I had never reached out to Miss Rodriguez to begin with, I wouldn't have met Miss Antunes, and I wouldn't have not only the connection that I have with her today, but also the Portuguese National Honor Society there at Eastside. So I just think it's really about getting out of your comfort zone, having resilience, and stepping out and asking for help, because I know that a lot of people don't like to, and it's very understanding, but sometimes that's all you need, is just to ask one person that'll lead you in the right direction.
Now, to conclude, you mentioned your family, how important they are to support, everything that you want to do it. You accomplished so many good things. 10 years from now, if you look back, what will be the message for a kid that you may have? What the example of your family? We're talking a lot to keep the tradition alive. So I want you to move forward on the time and think back what will be important for someone connected to you to understand, to accomplish.
It's kind of cheesy, but just to keep family close. I really don't think that without my parents, my aunts, just my entire family support, I wouldn't be where I am today, especially with the whole aspect of being with like my culture and like sticking with like Portugal and like traditions and all that. I know that a lot of people, once they move to the US from different countries, they kind of just want to live that American life, and they kind of forget where they come from, which I think that's very important, is to not forget where you come from. So I definitely, in the next 10 years, want to keep those traditions going, speaking Portuguese at home, although it is a little difficult for me sometimes. The language is so beautiful, and so is every tradition, and it brings you so many different opportunities than you probably wouldn't have if you just didn't speak it or didn't have those traditions in your life. So I think that something I would tell my kid in 10 years is definitely to not forget where we all come from, and to keep your family close, because those two things is what makes you human. It's what keeps you with those like connections, and it reminds you to be humble, because you may have what you may have, but you did come from somewhere else. So,
Bruna, thank you. E que grata experiência. Aprendemos hoje algo muito importante. Mais importante do que estarmos aqui, do que reconhecermos o que ficou para trás, é muito importante olhar em frente e conjugar todos esses valores, que afinal de contas nos fazem diferentes. Ricky Durães, WNN, Luso Americano TV.
Festas em honra do Divino Espírito Santo em Newark, no Clube Açores, 46ª edição, nos dias 23, 24, 25 e 26 de maio. Na sexta-feira, dia 23, a festa começa às 5h30 da tarde com Paulo e Juliana Vitor. No sábado, às 8 da manhã, a cerimónia das pensões. Depois, a cozinha abre às 11h30 e a partir das 5 da tarde, o baile com o Legacy Band da Nova Inglaterra. No domingo, saída da coroação do recinto da associação às 10h15 da manhã. A missa será às 11h30. Na procissão será acompanhada pela banda Senhora Conceição Mosteirense de Fall River e a banda Nossa Senhora de Fátima de Newark. E depois a festa com Luís Neves e a sua banda diretamente de Massachusetts. Na segunda-feira, dia 26, a cozinha abre às 11h30 da manhã, depois Arraial com Beca Assunção e a sua banda. Venha a Newark, venha ao Clube Açores, no 144 da Wilson Avenue, 46ª edição da Festa em Honra do Divino Espírito Santo, 23, 24, 25 e 26 de maio.
Firmino Insurance. Descansa suas famílias e seus negócios com seguros pessoais e empresariais. Garantir a tranquilidade da sua família é o melhor negócio. Avaliação do tipo de seguro sem qualquer compromisso. Saiba qual a proteção mais adequada para cada tipo de risco. Firmino Insurance.
Boa noite, o meu nome é Luciano Tunes.
E o meu é Angélica Pinto.
Bem-vindos ao Luso-Americano Magazine.
A partir deste momento pode seguir a nossa transmissão em direto nas múltiplas plataformas sociais, quer da WNN, quer do Luso-Americano.
Estamos situados no centro de Braga, mesmo perto da central de caminhonagem. Temos uma equipa multidisciplinar, trabalhamos todas as especialidades clínicas dentro da medicina dentária. O nosso principal foco é a qualidade, por isso é que apostamos em médicos com bastante experiência. Nós temos facilidades de pagamento, portanto somos uma clínica acessível a todas as bolsas. A medicina dentária em Portugal é reconhecida mundialmente e temos a grande vantagem de termos custos muito inferiores àqueles que se praticam lá fora. Estamos a atender bastantes pessoas, damos facilidades em termos de transporte do aeroporto aqui para Braga e tratamos também de hotel para as pessoas que necessitam a preços bastante convidativos. Nós trabalhamos para os pacientes, trabalhamos para a recomendação e gostamos de tratar bem as pessoas.
Festa Festa portuguesa, Dia de Portugal em Newark, 46ª edição, 6, 7 e 8 de junho na Ferry Street. Zé Amaro. João Medeiros. Delfim Júnior e Império Show. Diretamente de Portugal, Eclipse Orquestra. Pauliteiros de Miranda. E as tradições da Tuna Académica de Coimbra. Festa portuguesa, tradição, cultura, emoção e saudade. Dia de Portugal em Newark, no dia 6, 7 e 8 de junho. Viva Portugal!